Cinder, a remix of Dark Souls 3 by Rotaka. Folks, you know what that song means.
Hey, motherfuckers.
Oh my goodness, it's just like old times. People are actually physically present in the same room. By the way, we're all fully vaccinated. This is safe, etc., etc. So,
I'm boosted.
as am I. So
I got tested as of this morning, and
Hooray.
I'm still negative.
good, good. So, as always, people practice safety. Social distancing, masking, whatever, family units, etc. We're not medical professionals, so we can't give you medical advice. However, just please use common sense and be safe. Anyways, I'm MrBond.
And I'm Tormod.
And I'm Vlad.
There you go. Words.
Welcome, everybody. This is Insert Credits Round 97. Go away, old year. 2021 had a very low bar to clear. After 2020, it somehow failed. Good job, 2021.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So go away, old year. We are on the cusp of 2022 here. We've got 2 weeks left. And we are getting very close to triple digits. I know we've mentioned that several times.
It's true.
Over the past several shows, but it is very true.
It'll hit in March, allegedly.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
math
Math.
checks out. Does
Mhm.
check out. So, anyways, Insert Credits. This is a game where we talk about video games, or a game, a podcast
This
where we
is the
talk
game
about
where we
video
talk
games.
about podcasts?
Exactly. I'm sure that already exists out there. Actually, come to think
Yeah,
of it.
probably.
Insert the meme of every 3-person white guy podcast. You
Right.
know, with the
right.
tall, thin guy with the facial hair, and then the fat, balding guy, and then you. I'm not balding, by the way, but the others.
And
It's
then
fine.
hilarious third person. So Oh wait, how did that go? What do you call like 3 average white guys or something? A podcast
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that, whatever it was.
3 white guys with a microphone.
Yeah,
podcast. Yeah.
All right, that
Something
makes
like
me laugh.
that.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It is funny. Like I don't care that it's targeted towards us literally, but
Yeah.
it
Please
is
make
still
jokes at my expense.
extremely funny. But anyways, this is Insert Credits. We talk about video games. We go over some news in the first segment. We play some music, some really good music. No bias here at all.
No.
And then we talk about what we've been playing since the last show, and then we do some more music, and then we do some design at the end, some ad hoc design with randomly generated themes and settings and genres and all that sort of thing.
And absolutely purely ad hoc, because we're going to be looking at this page having rolled this shit before we push the button.
Correct.
So, yeah, usually it's zany bullshit that turns out to be something. Usually. Sometimes it's not pornographic.
Sometimes, only sometimes.
Yeah.
There was one that did touch, in the erotic subgenre, I think, a little bit. Even probably without being forced to do so. But hey, you gotta have a little variety, a little spice.
It's got to get saucy.
It's gotta get saucy. But we've done pretty well. It's fast becoming my favorite segment. It was already my favorite segment of the show, even before we started doing the actual ad hoc stuff. But now, right? Know your place. Sorry, too real. But anyways, yes, it's very, very fun. So please stick around to the end of the show so you can hear that. Housekeeping first. Around 98, which will be the first show in 2022 in January. I believe it's set up for the 14th.
Yeah, probably.
If I were a Smirtman, I would have this pulled up in the calendar already, but I don't.
Yeah,
So
I mean, obviously, same.
that's all right. Yep, looks like
Can I-
14th
can I
is
type the word calendar?
is penciled in for around 98 there. We also have 99 on tap for February 11th, it looks like.
Yep.
I think that still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Which means now we are at the third show out, so we can schedule round 100, the big 100.
It's true. Oh, shit. We'll probably still be away from home at that point, which makes me a sad dog. But, like the other months, it's kind of a toss-up. So 11th, 18th. If we do the 18th, it could be the day after St. Patrick's Day.
That
We
is
can
true.
all be hungover, with the exception of you. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
18th it is. Okay.
I mean, we're going to be celebrating something next month, too, but,
Yeah, naturally, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, okay. So 18th is good. I've already got that penciled in.
Yep.
So that should do for the housekeeping. On to Around the World, news segment. This is somewhat of a mixed bag as of late between shitty news, but is still news, and normal news, and sometimes good news. Let's get the real bad stuff out of the way first. So ongoing Activision Blizzard. Get that rage ready, because Activision Blizzard has been shitty. The management side of Activision Blizzard, not the employees. The employees are trying their best to deal with all this. Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, but now the some state treasurers have entered the ring of condemning Activision Blizzard for their handling of this whole fiasco. That's really interesting, considering we had the state of California actually going through and suing Activision Blizzard, and then we had state attorneys general dealing with that as well, and now state treasurers getting on the bandwagon. Why not? You know what? They've done enough horrible shit that, they frankly kind of deserve it. So good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
For the employees side of things, they're on an open-ended strike and a union drive, which is great. Power to the employees, building union a better ABK. So good luck to y'all. We're really pulling for you.
That is also related to Ravens, correct? The
Yes.
layoffs there with QA?
Yep, correct.
Okay.
So something more local to me as a Madison suburb dweller. Raven Software, which is based in Madison, Wisconsin, is a subsidiary of Activision, Activision Blizzard, perhaps. They are largely responsible for Call of Duty Warzone. And recently, some restructuring or reorganization or whatever ended up in the layoffs of 12 QA folks from Raven Software. And the rest of Raven Software was none too pleased with this. So they staged a walkout protest demanding that those QAers be returned as full employees rather than contractors. Nothing has come of it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they are fighting the good fight there. And again, more power to them. We are with you. So good luck to local game dev shop, Raven Software, please.
Please do the right thing.
We'll see what comes of it. This whole Activision Blizzard thing has been the news source that keeps on giving, for better or worse.
Yeah, usually worse.
Usually worse, because we just learn more and more about it, and it just goes downhill.
Yeah, may I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we all know Activision Blizzard is a pile of shit these days, and their CEO, Bobby Kotick, I don't even care if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. He's a dick. He's a worthless human being. He knew about and participated in rampant sexual harassment of the workplace, and as we mentioned, employees walked out. Activision Blizzard stood their ground, though, and they're like, yeah, this guy's fine.
Christ. Well,
what the fuck?
That sucks. It's really terrible.
I mean, that's not even like the most recent stuff. Like, if you really want a bad time, just go search Activision Blizzard. None of it's good. I mean, even the games, but none of it's good.
Yeah. I think the last good Blizzard game I played was StarCraft. So that was 25 years ago. So that's it's quite a bit of time. But yeah, I hope we don't have to keep talking about this shit for next month. But none of this is even close to being resolved. So I'm sure there will be something next month about it as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Sorry to continually inundate everyone with this stuff, but this is still important news, so
and it's important that people are aware of it so that maybe they can stop patronizing that company with their money. Maybe.
Right. There's always the whole counter argument against that being like, oh well, it's not the employees' fault, support them by buying the games or something. It's like, how much of what you pay for those games do you think actually goes towards the real employees there that deserve this support? I can tell you not very much. So do not feel bad about not buying their products. I guarantee you there are 10 other people that will take up the mantle for you, unfortunately. So, consumer voting with their wallets, et cetera, et cetera. So please vote with your wallets and do not support companies that engage in the depths of these shitty practices, please.
So I'm going to riff on that a little
please
bit.
do.
Speaking of game costs. Yeah, so apparently AAA titles now, people are just kind of like, yeah, $70 is fine. $10 price hike. Their reasoning is it hadn't been done in years, and these games are clearly more quality, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, okay, so there's 2 games at Square, what the hell are they called these days? Square Enix?
Square Enix, I
believe. So they just released this Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which, what the fuck is that name? But okay.
They are really trying to Kingdom Hearts that shit.
Yeah, no, they are, and they're the company that would do it best. But yeah, that has arrived on PC via the Epic Games Store. Yesterday for a whopping $70. Yeah. So also things not to support. Lots of game companies now are jumping on this whole NFT train, and Square Enix, whatever, Square something or other, those fuckers now apparently are also doing it. Yeah, I'm kind of done. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of going on with the NFTs, and I'm not about it. But, yeah, speaking of other NFT bullshit, real quick, Ubisoft, we hate them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do at least. Ubisoft Quartz. It's their NFT gaming platform, and it's energy efficient NFTs, which don't exist. The internet lashed hard against them, which is great, as they should.
Yep.
And they pulled their announcement video after it was utterly destroyed on YouTube, but they're doing it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Now, there's actually news from yesterday. So, the game Stalkers 2 was canceled after the game company that initially was going to release it in the early 2010s went under.
Yep.
But then it was brought back a few years later, and they're like, yeah, we're going to release this thing. And then, it's obviously a decade later now, but they're talking about releasing this game. And a few days ago, they're like, yeah, we're going to do NFT stuff. And everybody dogpiled on them, as they should.
Yeah.
And gasp! This company actually listened, and they said, fuck it, we're canceling NFTs with the game. Not for a future date like Discord's ass.
Right.
Speaking of, don't use Discord. Please move away to a different platform. I digress. They actually listened, and they said, you know what? This is what you want. That's what we're doing. Done. Not a later date, not we'll reevaluate our options after saying, no, they actually said they're going to cancel it, so if they don't, I'm going to be very upset. But, yeah, I'm glad that people are like, you know what, this is a crock of shit, and are actually yelling at people about it. It's great.
It is good
It's
to
real great.
finally see some rallying against this bullshit. On whatever it happens to be, like e-commerce platform Shopify. Don't use them because they're doing NFT stuff now. And also Peter Molyneux is doing speculative NFT garbage here too. Has sold $70 million in virtual whatever stuff that hasn't even been released. Why are people still giving that idiot money is beyond me. But hey, whatever, your money, do what you want with it.
Yeah.
Never mind that Godus was a pile of shit, and pretty much anything else before that he did was kind of weird, just killing shit with microtransactions and generally under-delivering and over-promising, but he's a genius, a visionary, whatever. He is not. He is a person, a valuable person like everybody else, and he screws people over. So please don't give him any more money. But yeah, so the key takeaway here is NFTs are shitty, and nobody should be investing in them. If you defend them, you are either in on the scam, or you've been scammed so hard you are apologizing for the scam. Please do not apologize for the scam. Admit you were wrong, pull your money out immediately, please, and learn your lesson.
It's okay to be wrong.
It is. It is.
And it's more okay to acknowledge that and move on in a healthy way. Don't double down. I know. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, just don't. Just learn and be humble about it. And people will forgive you, even though you made some pretty fucking stupid choices.
Yep. They won't forgive you if you do double down, though. So, you keep digging that hole. Oh, it's going to be real hard to come back.
Don't be like KFC.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
What did KFC do that I
The double
missed?
down?
The double.
Do you remember that?
No,
With
sorry.
with the chicken sandwich that had the chicken, like, whatever, the wings, patties,
It's
whatever.
it's a chicken strip as the bun, and then more chicken on the inside as the filling. And
Yeah,
then,
it was. Well,
I've
boy.
kind of never paid attention to KFC since I got food poisoning.
It's
there
okay.
once as a
Yeah,
kid,
that's
so,
same.
That's all right.
But-
That's a reasonable
Yeah.
way to go about it.
hello, Elthford. I'm
So-
glad you remember that abomination that existed. I tried one. I think that's the last KFC I had.
Where does
And
that
that-
even fit on the sandwich chart?
It's just meat.
I don't know. That's a very good question.
They're made of meat.
It's definitely not a hot dog. Probably
no.
not a taco. Um,
It's just slabs.
it's. I suppose it's a sandwich, but
Right.
if you consider the breading on the chicken bits that are the bun, that could be considered
Yeah.
like a sandwich wrapped in a sandwich. I don't know. Whatever.
Let's not talk about anything related to meta.
Yeah. That's
Let's not.
good point. So, good news out of all of this shit that's sort of related, sort of not related. First North American game development studio has unionized. Vodeo
Okay.
voted to unionize in the past like week and a half. So pretty recent stuff. Via CWA's, the Communication Workers of America's campaign to organize digital employees, or CODE. So they have successfully unionized, not for any pressing, critical, oh my god, this company is bullshit reason, but they're getting ahead of the curve and saying, hey, no matter what your role is, like unionizing as employees is good, so let's do it. And they did it. So good job, Vodeo. More power to you. Let's do that stuff.
Literally, that's the point.
Exactly. Empowering employees is good.
Collective bargaining. What a concept.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Scott Walker.
Assuming you do it right.
Yeah.
Also good news, and I don't use good news and Twitch in the same breath very often these days, but this one actually is, I promise. Twitch is finally doing something about ongoing pervasive problem of ban evasions, using machine learning and various back-end statistics to shadow ban apparently problematic users that are trying to get around ban evades.
Wait a sec.
I know.
Haas is going away?
Let's hope so.
Oh
Let's
my
hope
God.
so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And
It's almost like they finally figured out what regex was.
I know. To be fair, regex is very hard to implement well, but that aside, they're finally doing something about the pervasive problem of ban evasion, and they're also surfacing these tools to creators and moderators by popping up little things in chat saying, "Hey, this user account looks a little suspicious. What do you want to do? We've shadow banned them for now. Do you want to keep their messages around? Do you want to ban them outright? Do you want to allow them through? What do you want to do?" And that's surprising for Twitch, because usually they just turn on shit without giving anybody any options to do anything about it. So a rare kudos to Twitch. Good job. Thank you. A little late, but thank you. Let's keep that going, please. Please do more good things like this, and please give your people options to use or not use as they see fit. Don't just turn it on by default and don't give us options. That's not
Let
good.
people give you feedback and
Right.
take their feedback for future change.
Mm-hmm. It's a incredibly
concept.
foreign concept to everybody, apparently, to test these things out and listen to feedback as to whether or not it works. So
Maybe even do some A/B testing. Like I hear occasionally that people, will get certain features ahead of time and whatnot. Like the animated emotes thing was kind of an A/B test for a while
Huh,
and stuff like
okay,
that. Sure,
yeah.
fine, great. But like, this is kind of big. This is something that's been plaguing people for 4 months.
Yeah.
Like, maybe talk about it some more. Maybe you could have led up to this, hey, we're doing something about this, instead of just letting people be pissed. Like, I'm pretty good at being pissed, but like, if you tell me that you're actually doing something and show that you're doing something, that'd be a first for Twitch, honestly. So,
yeah, they're not great on the whole communications front.
which is hilarious considering the platform.
Exactly.
You know?
right? Well, hilarious and also very sad. But communications is hard. It's one of them soft skills that you apparently can't learn.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time on the show that we've said the word hilarable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. But hey, a couple pieces of good news. You can't leave the news segment with shitty news. So good job, Vodeo. Good job. Slightly higher than Golf Clap Twitch. That's all the news I got written down. Is there any further supplements that you got besides our whole Blizzard thing that we were talking about earlier?
You want to hear about experiments that aren't shit?
Yes, please. I would
Okay,
love to.
cool. So there is a Hungarian neuroscientist that is training rats to play Doom 2, and it's actually really entertaining.
Okay, good.
So this neuroscientist is contemplating streaming it on Twitch. So basically, it's just you start the game and place rat on a ball, and the rat runs on the ball, and it makes the thing move, and yeah, like it's an actual experiment with hypotheses and
That's
like
rad. I love
testing, and I'm like, I love it. Do more. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna link this article here in chat because can I do that? Copy link. Yeah,
Yeah, I hope
here we
so.
go.
So Doom runs on everything, and now everything will be able to
Runs-
play Doom.
For Doom? I don't know.
Right,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the natural extension of the we've gotten Doom to run on everything. What do we do
Mhm.
next?
Now what?
Rats need to play Doom on a pregnancy test. I don't know, man. But yeah, go look at that. Like, I had to share a link because it's like, here, watch a video of this thing actually being, this experiment being conducted and things.
That's
I'm just like,
rad.
this
I
is
love it.
fantastic. All right, well, I didn't write a whole lot of details about this because, yeah, well, you've probably heard about it already. It's been in development for like a decade now. Tunic, finally getting a release date. I've seen
Yeah.
this at how many PAXs now? That we only went to like 2 or 3, maybe 4. I don't know, but that was years ago.
Yeah, that was.
We heard
many
about it
years
for
ago.
years. Basically, it's a Zelda-like. It has some very unique concepts that we haven't seen in 3D Zeldas before. So go look at their latest trailer and whatnot. But it has a release window of sometime in March, this coming March, as in the 2022 March. Hopefully, let's hope that doesn't change. But this protagonist, instead of Twilight Princess Link, where he was a wolf, is this one's a fox. So this one is basically Robin Hood, I guess,
I can see that
because
yeah.
it's in a green tunic and you get stuff. Yeah, but it's cute and yeah, totally not biased. But the mechanics were pretty interesting. Go look at some of the gameplay trailers and whatnot. Tunic is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. I actually kind of forgot about it because it kind of went silent
Yeah,
for a few
it
years,
disappeared for a long time.
which indie games kind of have
It
that happen
Can
more
happen,
than
yeah,
often.
Yeah.
But no, this is cool. It's got fantastic playability. It looks like there's a lot of creativity in the things that you can do with the environments, and it kind of reminded me of some of the stuff that we were trying to kind of vamp on with Auspice and whatnot. But lots of environmental interaction, more than one answer to a puzzle, that kind of thing. So yeah, no, it's exciting. Go have a look at that. But yeah, I'm sure there's more things that I'm forgetting. Lots more things that I'm forgetting. But, life's been hell. So
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to escape the hellscape for a little bit.
Well, that does remind me of another release that's coming up as well. Not a full game release, but a DLC content expansion to Risk of Rain 2 is coming out first quarter 2022.
Cool.
More enemies, more areas, more items, new tiers of stuff. Just they were putting it on the order of like 2 or 3 content pack expansions that they were doing for the main release in size. So pretty sizable. It will be paid DLC, so it's not a free update or anything like that. But boy, howdy, that's such a great game, and they've been doing such good work with it. It's like, yeah,
Awesome.
I'll shoot you a few more bucks for this cool stuff. Like, no problem. So quarter 1, 2022. Looking forward to that. They are also bringing some of the console stuff up in line very shortly thereafter. They're expecting quarter 2 of 2022 to get Switch and PlayStation, Xbox, wherever other platforms that it's on, up to this most recent content expansion as well.
Cool.
Okay.
You reminded me of DLC stuff, though.
Very good.
All
Please
right.
proceed.
So there is a horror-themed deck-building game RPG thing called Inscription that recently came out.
Okay.
And apparently the first chapter of the game was really popular in the way that you could play the little card game thing that was, I guess, exclusive to that chapter of the game.
Okay.
So much so that everybody just kept bothering the game author, like, "Hey, can we just make this a thing by itself? Can we just do that?"
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So releasing a free mod to just do that. Like, you could just keep playing it over and over again, and people are excited for that. So Inscription, yeah, it's with SCRYPTION.
Of course, naturally, you can't have any basic bitch ass eyes in there.
Well, yeah, there's no Z's in this one, or silent X's, or whatever. But
no missing vowels, because that's the popular thing. That was the popular thing.
or replacing
right?
C's with K's.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This isn't the mid 2000s in game names, I guess. But Yeah. No, it looked cool. I've only recently been kind of exposed to these like deck building games that aren't actually with
With
physical
actual
cards.
cards. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've played Munchkin once or twice, and there was something that we played here too. I think it was with 006. I don't remember. But it was some sort of dungeon diving thing, and we were competing against one another.
It might have actually been Munchkin.
I think it was something else though.
Or
But
very
regardless,
something in that vein, right? Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had only played stuff like that. But yeah. Only this week did I finally realize that the game I thought Slay the Spire was not in fact the game I thought it was.
Ah,
But it's still really cool. And other Tom in chat here, was kind enough to demo it for me. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that looks a little more doable. I was confusing that with another roguelike, I guess, where you basically went on floors and you had a party of characters that fought against things. The art style was very red all over the place. It was released on console and PC. I don't remember the name of it. You could level up stats between the floors and whatnot, but it was very brutally difficult. Came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know.
Nothing's ringing a bell with that description. Sorry.
For whatever reason, I kept thinking Slay the Spire was that because it definitely kind of fits the aesthetic
Sure,
of what
sure,
that
sure,
game is.
yeah.
But no, it's totally different. But no, that was really cool. So deck building games that combine RPG like things and roguelike things and whatever else and proc gen things. They're all the same thing these days. It's fine. No, that sounds kind of cool, and I wanna look more into that. So I'm gonna end that ramble.
So also that was given to us through chat here from Mighty Squirrel. Thank you. Windjammers 2 is also coming out January 20th, 2022. Windjammers 1 was quite a popular cult hit back in the day, and then I think there was a remake/remaster of it. Now Windjammers 2 is coming up as well. So that's going to be fun. There's also been a slight bit more information about Hollow Knight Silksong. That originally started life as a DLC expansion onto Hollow Knight, but it evolved into its own individual game. That will follow the travails and adventures of Hornet, which was a prominent NPC in Hollow Knight. I know there's also expansions coming out, or actually another individual game coming out, Darkest Dungeon 2. That transferred over from the standard art, standard 2D, very artsy style into now 3D territory. Fortunately, I haven't heard anything more recent than that since like a couple months ago, but looking forward to that too. Another one came up.
No, I found the game.
Oh, cool. Well, which
Like
one was
suddenly
it?
my brain actually gave me something useful for once. No, it's Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
there's
was
a new one
thinking of.
coming. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and number 2 is coming out now.
Mhm.
Sure, why don't I look that up? Because that's another
Darkest
sequel.
Dungeon 2: The Howling End, I believe, is the subtitle on that one.
Is it?
I believe so, unless they change that again.
I'm not seeing a subtitle.
No? I have it written down as that, I think, but that I wrote down like 6 or 7 months ago, so it very well could have changed now.
Yeah, no, it just says Darkest Dungeon 2 is an upcoming role-playing game developed and published by Red Hook Studios. This sequel to Darkest Dungeon was released in 2016. Jeez, okay, it's 5 years old then. All right.
Oh, with the teaser titled The Howling End. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It was released in
That's
early
why.
access for Windows. How do you? Okay, whatever. In October
Sounds
2021.
right.
Windows. So if it were released for Windows early access, that makes me think no. Whatever. It's probably not on the Xbox app. Obviously not on the console either. Whatever. Anyway,
Windows
rambling.
Store.
Maybe it's just Steam early access. Duh. I don't know.
Or
I don't, was that one of the Epic Game Store ones too? I don't know. So many different fronts do early access nowadays, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of which one's got it.
Yeah, it's EGS.
Yeah.
Gross.
And it launches on October 26th, which obviously has already passed. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I'll be waiting another 9-ish months for that. That's okay. Got plenty of other stuff to play in the meantime. Any other releases that we are going to be reminded of or suddenly remember?
I really just need to find like a public feed calendar that I can put
Right?
like in my
Yeah.
Google Calendar. Be like, okay, this is when all this shit's happening this month. Honestly, that sounds like a good idea. We should do that. Huh.
We could throw together a shared calendar and just pop new stuff onto there, honestly.
Well, I was just kind of hoping there would be a calendar I could just subscribe to that was
Yeah.
just like game releases.
Right.
Bleh. You know, that would be cool. I'm rambling. That exists though, probably. It has to. Like if it doesn't, then
Then what are people doing?
it's just weird. Like I need RSS. You know, that needs to make a comeback. Let's just get rid of all of this perpetual media bullshit and just have RSS
Right.
feeds. Let's do that
Yeah.
again. I love it. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Songs?
Yeah, well, while we're noodling on all of that with sudden ideas on how to keep track of all the fantastic new releases coming out, time for some Toonskis, huh?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll kick us off here with Cold Boot by 744 from FTL Faster Than Light, moving to Crime Boss Nomad by Ardk Law from Saga Frontier, ending with Everstreams Through Evermore by Brink of Time from The Secret of Evermore. Meep.
Okay, not quite. That
Not
one's
quite
at the
that
very end. That's
Yeah.
after song segment 2. If there's a long trail off on whatever the last song is, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. But now it's time to talk about what we've been playing. And we've all been playing a lot, which is good. We gotta keep our spirits up in the current state of the world and all that.
Unless they're all depressing games.
Oh yeah, I suppose, but
But they're not.
well, they're not.
So it's good.
We all avoided that somehow. So I managed to, since last time, I managed to finish up on Streets of Rogue. Pretty fun game. There's enough left to it where I'll still play it for a little bit off stream to take care of a few other things. That was one I had played. Did I play it? I think I did. I played it for the first time at PAX 2016, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It was when we were pretty early in the dev cycle for showing it off. And it looked a little rougher back then, shall we say. But it was still fun. So I put that on my list of things to play, and hey, boy howdy, finally got around to it. After that, I started playing Orbital Bullet, which is currently in early access. It's a side-scrolling platformer, sort of shmup, sort of not. It's kind of like Defender in such that the field wraps around, but it's rendered in a big giant circle that you can see the whole thing of at once, and you can see your shots kind of going around the circle. And if you have a gun that shoots far enough, you can actually make the full circle on the thing. It's really cool.
Okay.
Very interesting strategies to be involved with that. So I played that for a few weeks and went through the entirety of that. And then this just past week, I started with Death's Door, which is a more linear story-based actionish platformer, more centered around the action. Sort of some RPG elements. Beautiful game.
Yeah.
Both visually and orally.
I had a chance to watch you play that, and isometric stuff. Benefit.
Yeah.
And it looks really great.
Is very pretty. It's less hard-edged pixels than I'm used to, more soft and environmental, a little bit of bloom going on, a lot of anti-aliasing, very soft edges and all that sort of thing. You play as a crow that collects souls, which is neat. And you get screwed over by this other older, much larger crow and stole the soul that you were trying to collect, so now you're both trying to get souls to open Death's Door, title drop. It's really fun. I'm through 2 major chapters of it. I presume there's probably 1 or 2 more major chapters to go. So I'll be resuming that this week. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I last watched when you were shooting a frog in the face.
Yeah, that
couple times.
a-hole deserved a few bombs in the face, so he got a few bombs in the face.
Yeah. I ended up, I guess, closing the stream when you freed that dude from the prison cell.
Yes, yep.
I wasn't sure. You ended shortly after that, I think, but...
Yeah, I think that was shortly after I got the bomb to be able to do it, and then I fought King Asshole Frog.
And I'm guessing you won?
I did.
Hey, look at that. Did you collect his soul?
I did collect his soul.
Ooh.
Little shithead. His soul is mine now.
Fucking reap that shit.
Right. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to resuming that again next week. SBC side of things, our new shmup for December is Strike Gunner SDG. An older arcade game, very unforgiving, as older arcade games tend to be. But we've got some pretty robust competition for that. I've taken the top spot for now. I expect I will get bumped off of that top spot probably somewhere near the end of the month, which is fine. I don't care. It was the one that I had selected for the poll and got selected for the month, so that's fun. Our quarterly for the last quarter of 2021 is still Pro Gear, no Arashi. Had a lot of fun playing that last night. Still didn't advance beyond my personal best currently, but whatever. We got until the end of December to make that happen. We've also started up a new quarterly for December, January, February into next year. G Darius. I haven't had a chance to pick that one up just yet, but I will eventually. Plenty of time to do that. Outside of normal stream and SBC, I've been playing a little bit of Vulture still on NetHack 3.6.6.
I really want to watch you actually play some of that. Like, that's, for whatever reason, just a very interesting game for me to watch. Even just NetHack as itself.
Yeah, right. I've currently got a run going as a samurai because I need like actually strong melee at the start, otherwise I just get blasted
Are you
immediately.
hidden by chance?
What?
Are you hidden by chance?
I might have a ring of invisibility.
Okay.
I think I do.
That counts.
Or a cloak of invisibility. I don't remember.
Cool.
But yeah, so I think at current I'm level 13, AC -14. down to like dungeon level 22 or 23. I'm a little scared to resume it though, because there's a monster zoo on that floor
Ah, yeah,
with
yeah.
several full-grown dragons in it.
Oh,
I think there's 2 black ones in there, so they have disintegration breath. So I'm kind
but
of
what if they're polymorphed?
yeah, I'm kind of afraid to go fight because I don't want to lose all of my shit and then get disintegrated.
Well, you just gotta piss them off and they fight each other, and then you don't have to
That's
do
true.
anything.
Do I have a ring of conflict?
Yeah, you probably do
I
at this
think I
point.
do. I think I
Maybe-
do. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
I do have telepathy, so I do have a blindfold, so that's how I know that they're there. Just slap
Gotcha.
on the blindfold, see all the telepath or the monsters that are able to be seen with telepathy on the map, which is really super good.
Cool.
'Cause I would feel real bad for just kicking down the door and then.
Yep.
And all right, I'm dead. Okay, cool. Start
See, what you
again.
got to do is find a ring of polymorph and then become some ridiculously huge silver dragon, and you're just going
Mhm.
bump, bump, bump on
Mhm.
everything. Yeah, I love that. This isn't at the point where you can get to Sokoban yet, right?
Sokoban is super early, but
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like
That
in
was 25.
that. I think the upstairs for that is between 7 and 10.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
thinking of another area that you can go to that's optional. That's a little further down.
You thinking of the character quest, maybe? That I think starts at 15. Oh, whatever.
Ow.
I've gone all the way through Sokoban. I think I got what did I get out of that? I think a bag of holding. I got a bag of holding out of that, which is super useful.
An
It's great.
actual bag of holding.
Actual bag of holding.
Don't try to have it hold itself.
No. Don't put a wand of cancellation in there. Don't put a bag of tricks in there. Don't put another bag of holding in there. I think those are the big 3. So otherwise it implodes and bye-bye all your things and you probably die.
Or a portable hole, or...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting stuff that you always learn not to do after the fact. So,
You're learning.
right? Right. So that's fun. I've got to resume that playthrough eventually and hope I don't do something really stupid that just torches the entire thing.
Good
That would
luck.
be bad, yeah. Sunday long plays, I've been doing a lot of Spelunky 2. Been trying to get been trying to get the opportunity to do a good eggplant run, and it just hasn't been happening as of late. Which
It's a
is
lot more
unfortunate.
difficult in Spelunky 2.
It's actually,
from my understanding.
it's easier in Spelunky
Is it
2.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think they give you a little bit more opportunity to do it. It's definitely easier in co-op because anything you buy at the shop turns into a gift that you then sacrifice to get the eggplant. But yeah, I just haven't had an opportunity to do it, which sucks because it's like, come on, I want to try this. I want to try it. I had a really good run of it
Tom.
the other time, but it just, oof.
I allowed
Nice.
it. I'm
Very
just kind
good.
of like... Just the
Very-
way that it like made it a red background and
Right.
stylized and stuff. I'm like,
Right.
you made it worse. Come on, Twitch. Oh, that was great.
So yeah, so that's been fun. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of good runs with that. Been doing Spelunky does as Spelunky do. So just make one, not even really major mistake, and you pay for it super hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. Beyond that, we did a massive archipelago multi-world. I think it was last weekend.
Oh no.
10 people, 17 worlds. Included Secret of Evermore, Link to the Past, naturally, Factorio, Super Metroid, and Risk of Rain 2. So
I still need to watch one of these. Like I had it on in the background when you and EI did the thing after the show last time, but I was like making food or something in an entirely different room, and I was only watching your side because you were
Sure.
doing Link to the Past.
Yep. So that was fun. We wanted to have a Minecraft world in there as well. Unfortunately, the person that was running it, Minecraft, was not cooperating with them.
Is it because of Log4j?
No, I don't think so. This was prior to Log4j being a thing.
I had to say it.
Yeah, you did.
I had to.
You did.
All right.
You did. Congrats. So unfortunately, they had to drop out and try to fix their stuff, which they couldn't. So they had to forfeit, unfortunately. But whatever. All of this is held together with toothpicks and duct tape. So
Yeah, well.
you expect this stuff to happen. But other than that, we covered like most of the primary supported games in the multi-world, which is super fun. You just get a whole bunch of random garbage that nobody knows what will do for other people outside the games they're playing. So it's like, all right, well, is this important? Yes. Is this important? Who knows? Grab it anyways.
They need to add random board games and shit. Like,
Oh,
I want to play Sorry and like somehow give you flippers or something. I don't know.
hey,
man.
I mean, Slay the Spire is actually in there too, and that's a card-based game, right?
It is,
so
yeah.
it's in there.
Yeah.
There's also a PR out there for Solitaire. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it would work, but it's there.
Dude.
I know,
I can do that.
right? So I mean, there's the running joke already between our various groups that we do this with. It's like, I'm blocked. Somebody's got to find me my 5 of clubs. It's like,
Fuck, man.
you
I want this shit.
I know, it's so ridiculous that.
Wait.
why
Can
not?
you have a multi-world Slay the Spire by itself?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
How? How do you give each other cards or what?
I don't remember. We did one. I think it was Other Tom that did Slay the Spire in one of our multi worlds. I don't remember exactly how it worked, but I believe it was various cards in the item pool for that. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I
it
don't know,
gets rid of my
so-
curse cards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if there's necessarily any progression locked in Slay the Spire. You gotta do some weird stuff with some of the games. Like for example, Risk of Rain 2 doesn't really have the concept of progression, so it's a little bit weird, but it's a good like filler so that you avoid BK mode or whatever. So
Oh, okay. So you find. Okay, so it wasn't a thing where it was like locking progression between the two, but instead it was augmenting it with relics and cards.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Is
sounds
that
about
my
right.
understanding? Because that makes a lot more sense. Because it's like, how do you really lock progression in that game other than just having a bunch of curse cards in your deck taking
Right.
the space of normal
Yeah,
cards?
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's
I
wild.
remembered things. I
Wild.
remembered.
How much activity is going along with Archipelago. Luckily, I've had the opportunity to contribute to it a little bit too. That was fun.
Oh,
With some of the B Miser stuff for LTTP,
okay.
which is funny in its own right. But yeah.
So now I have to ask, related to LTTP. So you've done open mode seeds, right?
Mm-hmm,
Is that like as far as you've gone with the weirdness things that you can do? Or...
Oh no, I've dialed up Key Sanity, Enemy Rando, Boss
Fair,
Rando.
okay.
I'd like to turn Pot Shuffle back on since that's now still a thing.
Uh-huh.
If I eventually go through it and kind of figure shit out, I'd love to do an entrance rando at some point.
Cool.
Maybe not as part of a multi-world right away, but just to
Oh,
kind of to get my feet under me on it. That would be neat.
So Tom.
Tom has definitely done some more of the inverted, no logic garbage. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
definitely
that's
in there
kinda,
too.
I'm kind of getting into. It's just kind of like, at what point are you going to be mentored by Tom to start branching out into the wonderful world of VRAM corruption and shit?
No, see, I don't know if I'd go that far with it.
You don't have to.
Uh,
There's plenty of other not doing RBO that you can do.
oh God, RBO.
I had to bring that
Yeah.
up because it was one of the first speedruns that we saw, and it was at PAX. Andy did that.
Right? Yeah, I do remember.
It was him and Pi and one other person was there. Don't remember who they were.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was. We
That
were
was
like,
wild.
what the fuck is this shit? Yep, VRAM. Love it. I, at some point, need to like, all right, Tom, you're going to come live with me for 2 weeks, and you're going to show me on the controller the things I need to do, and then I might understand it. Like, I almost did a citrus clip once. Almost. And that's when Tom visited for an afternoon. I was like, hey, I did a thing barely. Now you play a seed. So that was great.
Oh, hey. Like, even without, like, the real funky stuff, you should join us sometime.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no shit. I want to hear about this solitaire thing because that's got to be
God.
hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any activity on it recently, so who knows how far it's got to go yet to be included in mainline, but there's always ways to include it outside that, too, so...
I want to know.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, it's a time and a half. And everybody's real excited now that Super Metroid finally hit mainline on it, too. There's...
Ah,
plenty of folks that play that and add, door rando and area rando and other weird shit, and it's got enough customization to it. Like, hey, I can do this glitch. I can't do this one. I don't want to do this one, and it will actually generate appropriately for you on that side
So
of things.
it's just gonna at some point you're gonna get a C that's just oops all crade. And
I
that's
wonder
it.
if that's an option. I don't know if boss singularity is an option for Super Metroid. But yeah, there's definitely plenty of options to suit all sorts of skill levels, which is neat to see. I mean, more accessibility across all this stuff is great. Anyways, my whinging about Archipelago Multi-World aside, that is the extent of what I've been playing since last time.
Alrighty. Well, let's bring up my list here, which is oddly a list this time instead of a game or two. So Mario Party 8 was a thing. Played it first over Thanksgiving, and then we played it a couple times in co-op / team mode, whatever it was.
Yep.
That was interesting. The first time we tried it on team mode, we got stomped. Every time we went to go get a star, we just kept rolling odds if we needed evens or whatever the case.
Yeah, because
Figures.
it's a checkerboard layout, so you have to roll exact to... Or, not exact, but you have to roll odd or even to hit the
get
correct
onto the
space.
square. Yeah.
And then this last time, what was it, like 14-3 or something like that?
It
Ridiculous.
was stupid. Yeah.
Like,
the
we ended
typical
up-
Mario
Boy.
Party.
Yeah.
You know?
We stole a card that doubled the stars you got when you collected stars, but at that point in the game, it was already doubled because it was the last turn,
Yeah,
and it was some other
right,
bullshit,
okay.
and we got
all the bonus stars at the end, and
yeah, it was
yada,
just kind of like, oh, that feels much better.
yada.
Winning, it's what a concept. Yeah, keeping in the Mario theme, played some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah, that was also with you, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I
It's
think
been a while.
did we play that separately or was that?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know, shrug.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, we were at Discount Tire waiting to have tires put on the car,
True,
and I
yep.
brought my Switch, and we were playing Mario Kart in the lobby.
Nice.
Yeah,
It was a
and
good
I
time.
couldn't see the screen because it was sunny and I was getting upset. And then I eventually just kind of rage quit. It was like,
Eh,
I can't
as you
see
do.
shit.
We got a few good races in.
We did. I played some Mario Kart 64 briefly and I was like, oh yeah, right. This felt a lot more like real driving at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. No snaking in that game.
Yeah, no.
No, and you can't just keep drifting forever because
That's
you'll
true,
eventually spin out and yeah.
I wish they would bring that back too. Like that's good.
I got a gold trophy, I guess, in 150cc Mushroom Cup. The one I played. It's like, yeah, that's good enough. Wheel of Fortune 64 was a thing. Yep. I still remember some puzzles, but a lot of that stuff is late 90s, and I'm like, I don't remember
yeah.
shit from back then.
Good old pop culture references back then. I'm sure we all know.
I never watched Friends. We went and actually got to an arcade. We got there and it wasn't busy because a bunch of Boy Scouts just left and it was kind of dead. So I went in and started playing pinball and then a bunch of people came in and I was like, and I'm leaving.
See ya.
We were
But
there for a little while though.
I played through $5 a quarters and it took me like 90 minutes to get through that.
All
So I
right.
played the Super Mario Brothers pinball table and the Terminator 2 Judgment Day pinball table and an old Doctor Who pinball table, along with one other classic one that I don't remember the name of.
It was the medieval one. I don't recall the name either. It's
Oh.
like castle and knights and dragons
Like
and
Black Knight 2000 or something like
No,
that.
no,
not
no.
that
This is one that had the old style, like real old.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
It definitely did not have any video screens. It had the old style flipper counters. For
Oh
the
wow,
points
even
and-
the
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Regardless, I played that one a few times and I was like, yeah, that's enough. Also played Galaga
yeah,
for the first time in a long time.
Nice.
actual Galaga
The
cabinet.
actual arcade Galaga.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That's the best one.
Yep. And then, well, we were mentioning solitaire. I got real bored and desperate, not having a very good internet connection, and I installed the Microsoft Solitaire collection
Oh boy.
because I couldn't just run sol.exe anymore.
No, of course not.
But I played a fuckload of Klondike. What skill level am I at now?
You were saying something about Master the other
Right.
day.
No, it was
Grandmaster,
beyond that
whatever.
now.
Oh.
God.
It's on my phone too. It has cloud saves. It's great.
Cloud
Such
save
technology. Amazing.
Oh, I need to not be on the Wi-Fi because this one's not
I
whitelisted.
think what kicked it off was playing solitaire on the Tesla on the way back up from
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Because the
Oh, I
Tesla
guess it
has
is
solitaire on
mastered.
it as well now.
I'm gonna start a new game.
Incredible.
Yeah, I got through master. I can consistently beat a master deck in under 10 minutes now,
Really
and that's a lot of
nice.
like learning where the pivot point was that the bullshit happened, and then you're like,
Mhm.
okay, I need to not play
Fair.
the 7 of spades and instead wait for the 7 of clubs, and then I can move this pile over. And yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of that bullshit. I went through one Grandmaster seed. That was 90 minutes. That was
Jeez.
me being very, very confused and upset. Like, okay, I saw eventually the path to get through the first third, and then after that, it was just kind of like,
Now what?
what is this? I got through one, and that's good enough for now. That's the highest difficulty. They also have random, which is just we don't know if it's beatable.
Mhm.
The thing I like about this solitaire is that everything is guaranteed beatable unless you go to random.
Interesting.
So it's just kind of
Okay.
like I'm not going to stop playing because I think it's an unwinnable seed. No, I'm going to keep playing because I know I should be able
Right,
to win.
right, right.
And then I have to
exactly.
mind fuck myself to get it, and eventually I do, and
You
it's
can
great.
Practice without the uncertainty. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been. At one point, I was playing like 3 or 4 hours a day. In between just having a stream on in the background or something like that. I haven't played for like a week and a half now, but yeah, no, that became a brief obsession that I'll probably get back into, especially if solitaire becomes part of Archipelago, because boy howdy, can I play some solitaire?
Boy.
So that would be kind of great. But yeah, I think that just about covers it for me.
Cool, cool. Vlad, is there anything you'd like to add to this segment?
Oh
Since I'm
boy,
sure you've played some games.
I have quite the list racked up at this point. It's been a much busier month for me gaming wise than per usual. For those who aren't in the know, Tormod and I have been in Illinois for my job and
For over a month.
for over a month, basically living out of a hotel room. So when I'm not working 12-hour shifts, I don't have a whole lot to do other than play video games. So I've been playing a lot of video games. Like you were mentioning, we went to an arcade the weekend before last, I want to say.
Yeah, seems
Um,
right.
Bounced around, played a number of fun classic cabinets there, but they had a Sega Super GT Deluxe racing
Ooh.
cabinet, which was quite fun because the entire thing, in addition to a force feedback steering wheel and shifter and all that fun stuff, the whole thing was on like a gimbal so that it would tilt left and
Nice,
right as
yeah.
you raced, which was pretty impressive considering that game was like I think like 96. So that was a fun time. I spent twice as many quarters as Tormod and took less time to do it because I am not really good at pinball.
I kept getting free games somehow, and I'm like, wait a sec, what is this bullshit? I could never get that when I was at the other arcades.
Right.
Man, I got. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. I ended up somehow getting 110 million on that Terminator 2 table, like just randomly at one point. It was like, okay, I was getting enough to like barely get free games. That was like 15 million. And then this shit happened. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, go on.
Good times.
Yeah.
Also, implied by your games of late, we brought the N64 and the EverDrive with us, so I've been spending a little time here and there diving into some of the N64 titles, just going through the EverDrive and like, oh, that looks interesting. So I've been playing some of the classics like Yoshi Island and whatnot, Star Fox again. But also like some of the weird off the wall shit. So I've tried 3 different versions of Tetris. They have new Tetris, and they also had Tetris Balls, which was really bizarre.
Tetrasphere?
Tetrisphere?
Tetrisphere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tetrisphere.
that was the one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
That was a very strange game.
Sure is.
And I played a little bit of Bomberman 2. What else was there that
You played
I've tried-
Mario Parties 1
yeah,
and 2.
the original couple of Mario parties. I played a little bit of GoldenEye. Just generally been sampling various 64 titles, which were interesting. Some of them are much better than others, but it's a fun time.
We almost
Um,
couldn't play them because Dumb me, who was the producer for the marathons, didn't remember that I needed to have a remote for the OSSC
Ah,
because the buttons on it do jack shit.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're a little hard to navigate.
Yeah, no, they don't even bring up menus.
Oh,
So you can't
interesting.
navigate them with just the buttons.
Hmm.
So needed to get myself a universal remote and eventually find a manufacturer code that actually worked with it, so I could program the remote to make.
Huh,
Yeah,
that's fun.
That was a little bit of ingenuity, I thought. But yeah, no, we now have a universal remote that can work with the OSSC. Totally didn't cost $25. Yeah, but
you gotta do what you
saved
gotta
the day so that we could play N64 games. Is you finally got a myriad of games there.
Yeah, so aside from that, he also lugged the Xbox Series X. So I've been trying out various Game Pass games as well as playing some ones that were established on, so a little more Tetris.
Game Pass
But-
actually works on the Xbox,
Yeah,
unlike
incredible.
Windows 11.
Uh,
Every time there's a title that says it requires administrator privileges to install, instant fail.
nice.
And it's a known thing that's been going on since before Windows 11 was
Oh,
released.
boy.
And I'm like, what the
Just
fuck, Microsoft?
their typical first-party software implementation being garbage.
I'm
Incredible.
so mad.
Yeah.
It's never changed.
Anyway.
Microsoft.
Stop interrupting. I'm sorry.
So, anyways, on the Xbox, there's been a few different titles, but more recently, I've been playing a lot of new Super Lucky's Tale, which has been a great time.
It's been cute.
Yeah, surprisingly solid gameplay out of that one, and it's very cohesive. Like for what seems like a little more indie-ish of a title, like there's not really any, major bugs or glitches that present themselves in normal gameplay, and it feels very polished. So
Hmm.
that's been a good time.
It's like a happier version of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Like there isn't any like, oh no, some big thing happened and the baddie's gonna keep. Well, I guess it kind of does, but it
Kinda.
has a different feel.
It's
Okay.
very cutesy and lighthearted, and it mixes in a lot of like because it's like the multi-level and hub world kind of style of gameplay. They have like several different types of levels. So there's 3D platforming, there's 2D platforming, there's even a couple of like runner type levels where you don't control side to side movement.
I see.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mix of gameplay, and there are boss fights at the end of each hub world, so you get to explore different kinds of game mechanics, and it's got like strong collectible elements throughout each level, but also still like kind of the classic Mario style platforming where you're trying to get to the end and get as many coins and not lose all your lives and so on. So
I think they were kind of riffing on that because the name of the game is New Super Lucky's
Right.
Tale.
yeah, it's clearly an homage to classic platformers.
But it's a cute fox.
Yeah, it's
Who is
it's been an-
persistently happy. It never isn't happy. Always smiling and looking
Yeah.
at the camera.
Yeah, they do play with the fourth wall a little bit, which is amusing. Anyways, yeah, that's been a solid game. The other fun title I picked up on Game Pass is Art of Rally, which is it's not quite like low poly, but it's like a simplified 3D graphical style, but artistically so. Little third-person rally racing game, and it's got both like an open world mode and like a career kind of stages and ranked competition and whatnot. But it's kind of like halfway between an arcade and a sim style video game, as far as like it actually has a pretty strong physics engine and good mechanics and all that. But it's
The
still
physics are pretty wonky, but
well, not really. I mean,
you drive a little bit up a hill and you're in the air 20 feet
that's
and going
just-
this way.
that's because of the graphical style and the zoomed out third person perspective, because it makes it seem like you're going slower than you actually are, and the graphical style makes it harder to see terrain like topography when you're not looking at detailed textured surfaces, which a lot of the like it's a field, it's like it's just green because they don't like model the individual blades of grass, so it's a little harder to see hills and stuff. No, the physics are real good as far as little, arcade style games are concerned, it's definitely a step above for most things. It also makes really aggressive, I would say, use of the rumble feature on the controller, but like in a very controlled manner, so it actually kind of is useful as far as like giving you feedback on what the vehicle is doing, which is great because with it being a zoomed out third person perspective, your car on the screen is pretty small, so you can't really just like look at the model of the vehicle very closely to see what's going on. But yeah, that's been a joy to play. It's nice having the option to like play it in open world and just kind of not think about it, but also to
Right. Yeah.
do races and get faster and all that. And it has a complete original synthwave soundtrack that's real fun. So
I haven't gotten sick of it yet.
yeah, well they have like, I don't know, like 15 hours of music in there. So yeah,
Damn.
it's got a pretty
Nice.
good library.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the majority of things. Am I forgetting any major ones?
You played the Namco collection,
I did. Yeah.
so you played
yeah.
pole position on N64.
Dude, that was a time.
Incredible.
And Dig Dug. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That game
Okay.
I just don't like.
No?
Yeah, I can't. No,
No.
it just does not jive with me.
I mean, it's, back in that very simplistic arcade era. Don't play the Atari 2600 version of it, to be sure. That one sucks ass. But, like, Atari 5200 was alright. I don't know, arcade version, I presume, is pretty decent.
That was a fun one that was in the arcade, actually. There was I think it was a Xevious cabinet that they had stuck a Namco, like, multi
Ah, okay.
thing into, which was a little disappointing because I was like, oh, it's an actual
Xevious.
cabinet.
Aw.
Yeah. But I did play Xevious on it, which was fun. I still kind of suck at that game, but it was good. It was good.
There's a cab that had S&B Versus, and another cab that had some variety of Castlevania that kept looping through the character dying like every 10 seconds. So,
Oh, like the demonstration mode just
Yeah.
sucked.
I was just like, okay.
They had in the corner, what was it? I know it was rare, but I don't know things about rhythm games, but it was like a DDR solo.
Oh, yeah. So there's a solo cab of some DDR game that I took a photo of in sex, and it was like, holy shit, I'm surprised this isn't in some collector's basement.
Huh.
The whole idea of that arcade, it's called Arcadia, and it's in a little town in Illinois. But it's kind of like a playable arcade museum. So the majority of the cabinets are still 25 or 50 cents, and they all take quarters, and a lot of them are
And they give you discounts if you
vintage.
put more quarters in.
Yeah. Well, for the pinball at least. Yeah.
Weird.
And that wasn't even the building that had all the pinball stuff.
Yeah. No, they
Allegedly.
actually have 2 or 3 different locations. That, like, the company that owns it has 2 or 3 different locations, and one of them is just pinball cabs. So
Wild.
it's a good time. If you're ever in central Illinois for some terrible reason, I absolutely recommend you take some time out of whatever you're doing there to go play arcade games.
Whatever terrible thing you are in Illinois for.
Yeah.
Ah.
Uh,
Well, cool. Sounds like a really good spread of things we've all been playing. That's great. I like to hear that stuff. All right, but it's time for Toonskis Part 2 here. Give our voices a rest and listen to some good stuff. First off, we've got a remix from Mega Man 3 entitled Harding by Fark. Then a remix from Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening entitled Tal Tal Funkin' by Space Roast. And then finishing off with a remix from Mega Man 9 entitled Burning Up the Floor by McVaff. No meep this time. Sorry. Caught it.
It's
At the
fine.
right time.
It's fine.
So on we are to the final segment of the show. We do some ad hoc design, generate a theme, setting, etc., and then try to build a game around it.
Uh-huh.
Emphasis on try. Some are better than others, definitely,
Yep.
but I don't think we've had any like real bad stinkers. So
No. And the reason being, we allow ourselves to re-roll twice. But we have to keep that last one, and we can't go back to previous rolls.
Right.
So, yeah, we kind of have to make the yay or nay right away.
So
But-
here we go.
All right.
Give that a roll and see what we got to work with for number one here.
All right, so we can have multiple of each here of genre, rule, setting, and theme. Roll 1, the genre, Metroidvania.
Okay.
Alright.
Little softball there.
Uh-huh. The rule, everything is connected. Oh, man.
Okay.
The setting, simulated reality.
All right.
Uh-huh.
It's a little better, I guess.
And the theme is rivalry.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems kind of generic.
Yeah,
there's
sure
not-
does.
There's a lot of room for.
That's like something by Simplesoft Studios or something.
Enterprise, what was it? Enterprise
Enterprise
Productions or something?
Yeah, I don't.
Real,
Yeah.
real generic.
They also have a game studio name generator on this website. It let us laugh during this last music segment, but I feel very compelled to push this generate
yeah,
button again.
as do I.
All right, roll 2. Genre is dancing.
Okay, strong
Strong
start.
start. The rule is strength in numbers. Oh.
All right.
Flash mob.
Mm. The
Okay.
setting is virtual reality. And the theme is temptation.
Huh.
Uh,
That seems like a pretty strong set of things there.
All right, so it's VR Footloose. Not feeling it.
No.
Not really.
Okay. Well, then we're down to roll 3, and whatever
As
we get,
we
we get.
do. Don't
we had a
I swear we
roll
usually had
2 last
multiple.
time.
Multiple rules and settings and stuff occasionally. I thought we did.
Yeah,
It's
I noticed.
less likely if with this one. The previous one definitely had
oh,
that.
okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was choosing the right one.
Yeah. Okay, so we throwing it to RNG then for roll 3 then. Sounds
All right. Generate button says. Ugh.
Oh.
All right. It's a mashup of sport management and music.
Oh no.
Dancing. The rule is a single resource.
Okay.
Okay.
The setting is virtual reality again. Oh
Really
shit!
strong.
I accidentally pushed it again. Fuck.
Oh, did you catch what the last one was though?
That wasn't the right setting either. Fuck. No. Tap to click is kind of.
Well, I mean that's kind of out of our hands. We can't use the last one. You know, which is probably fine because sport management was kind of a
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
sour one regard.
Technical error on my part. All right, so this one, I'm not touching shit. Genres, VR and visual novel.
Can't get away from that VR thing.
Yeah,
Sure
VR,
can't,
real
except this
strong.
time it's a genre instead of VR or instead of a setting.
Yeah.
Seems weird.
The
Okay.
rule is take one, leave the rest.
Okay.
The
Sounds-
setting is World War.
Oof.
Oh.
That took a dark turn.
Yeah, sure did.
I was gonna say that sounds very dating game up to that point.
Yeah, and the theme is again temptation.
Okay, everything except the World War.
So this is basically a noir
Wild.
game.
This is like trying to find love during a World War type
Right,
thing, right?
right.
Huh.
Scarcity and all that.
Yeah. I mean, take one, leave the rest, like, really screams choose your own adventure without
Yeah,
having your
yeah.
thumb in the back pages so you can
Right, yep.
go
Yeah,
back
that's true.
and do it, right?
True. Kind of have to
Okay.
commit to it.
Yeah.
Just like this thing that we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, well, let's fire away then.
All right. Oh, let's see here. This really
Phew.
does feel like a noir game to me, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
I
you're
can
like-
dig that.
Trying to find love, I guess, maybe. We don't
Yeah.
even have to go with that.
Yeah,
But
we
it doesn't have to
don't.
be. I was
This
Well-
really screams like Cold War-esque stuff
Oh,
to
yeah.
me,
No,
too.
it does.
Like,
That's kind of the angle I was starting to consider with that temptation theme. Like,
I mean, it sounds like a ripe opportunity for lots of like political intrigue and
Yeah.
different factions and being pulled in different directions and having to choose allegiances and whatnot.
double and triple agents and all that,
Right,
all that
yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah, tu brute. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so I'm thinking here. Brain, give it to me. Come on, Mass Effect. So, VR Mass Effect. Got it. Okay. You're literally looking at something, you get your little choices that appear and you have to like thumb click and
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
So I suppose you could kind of bend the take one, leave the rest to you're frequently given options for things, and your choices through that immediately impact the flow of the story.
Right. Yeah, there's no repeating dialogue trees. There's no going back and viewing the options again. There's you've selected this response, you live with this.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Shit, there was a Tom, what was that thing that you shared with me earlier this week that was a proc gen RPG that was on the fly generated based on your choices? That was cool. I want to go back and look at that. Anyway, yeah, I think we can spin take one, leave the rest is, you get your little 3 or 4 options and what you pick is what you get.
Right.
I suppose you could spin the temptation part of that into, the deviant option for things that would pop up occasionally, like, what if you want to be the wrench in this operation? You could be tempted by the enemy to do blank. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking of it from like the standpoint of not even necessarily like the clear two-sided thing, because like a world war by nature includes a lot of different factors, and
Oh yeah, of course.
there's a lot of opportunity for like, oh, there are these 3 different factions within your very own government, and like which one do you align with, and what aims are you attempting to accomplish or forward or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking temptation kind of along the lines of like, what if you defect? Like, yeah.
And then do you try to play both or all 3 sides or all 4
Right.
sides or whatever? Or
Yeah.
that could be pretty dangerous. So,
Hmm.
so all right. How about we start with the objective then? This is a world war. We're trying to get through it. Do we just need to stay alive essentially through as far as we can, as long as we can through the whole thing or whatever?
You got to keep your story straight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So stay alive. Choose your allegiances wisely.
I suddenly wanted to do the disco. Staying alive. Staying
Okay.
alive.
Fair.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's sort
Disco
of
demand.
no
Superman supply. Yeah.
God,
High school econ.
wild.
That one was free.
It's here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh. Whether you like it or not. Hmm.
Stay alive. Choose your allegiances wisely.
Yep. Or you damn well better be a very good weaver of truths and not so truths in
Right.
the midst of things and have people not figure you out.
remember your lies.
Yep.
Remember your lies, right?
Okay. I mean, point of view obviously is just kind of prescriptive here. VR.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
VR/first person, I suppose.
We did it.
Story hook. I mean, it's a World War. It's a story that writes itself.
Kinda.
Well, the other question is like
Or-
where is the best place to position this in the life cycle of a
Mm-hmm.
world war? Like, is it right at the beginning when everything is kind of
Tense,
gelling
but
and
not like
well,
actually
yeah, like
exploded.
it seems
Yeah.
like that's the natural place if you're talking about like allegiances still being
Right.
determined and
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
the political intrigue and things
Yeah.
escalating rapidly and all that.
It's war almost. uh,
War has changed.
well, war never changes.
I know, but this game has to
It
have
kind
to
of
change
has to, yeah. I
because you're
suppose.
making choices, so it changes every time. Ha ha.
Ah,
All right.
right, you are though. You're not wrong.
Sorry, Snake.
Mm.
What was that, MGS 3 or 4?
4.
4?
It's the opening
Okay.
to 4. It's
Yeah,
that
okay.
whole soliloquy.
Gotcha.
Input method really doesn't matter too much here. It's all about
Thumbsticks.
dialogue
VR.
trees and
Moving your head.
QTEs and not even QTEs really.
I mean, they could be.
I mean, it's like the whole Mass Effect thing, right? Oh, here, do the Renegade thing by mashing the right trigger at this point.
Well, I suppose you could, like, if you're trying to infiltrate something, you could have QTEs of, like, being discovered if you don't duck under a
Sure.
desk or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It seems like this setting and storyline would mostly avoid outright combat, so you don't really need to worry about that.
Well, you would try to, right?
Right, yeah.
Or if you hide or if you get discovered, you have to come up with a compelling lie as to why
Right,
you're
yeah.
there, or otherwise.
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay. There's QTEs to influence breadth of options, I guess.
Yeah. I gotta keep it fresh somehow.
Yeah, I
Hide
mean, you
or
could-
don't hide.
You could even work that into the whole like pick one, leave the rest concept,
Mhm.
as far as like having events and opportunities that briefly appear, but you have to be paying attention to notice them or that
Yep.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Little pivot points.
right.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
You're walking down the hallway past someone and they're holding, a document, and you can look over their shoulder or something. Yeah, like little
mhm.
things like that you have to be paying attention to.
Choose to slip someone a note or something.
Right. Yeah.
Gosh. That reminds me of the kind of how do I say? It reminds me of some of the stuff that happened in FMA Brotherhood, where things were happening and people had to pretend that they were loyal to a
Right.
certain thing, but instead there was all this subterfuge and planning that was going on with unspoken words and whatnot. So, yay, political intrigue. I could totally see that being a thing here, though. Like, you find out that someone is kind of a prisoner here who's just kind of going along with things to not die, and you can either choose to collude with them or not.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the whole like double agent, triple agent thing, where like you might be in a position where you're trying to act as a double agent, and then there might be someone else who might be an ally, but they might actually just be trying to flush
Yeah.
you out as a double agent, and maybe they're
Right.
actually going to turn around and stab you in the back as soon as you admit to whatever you're doing.
Yep,
you
yep.
know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid the fate of Maze Hughes. We'll leave that one as that.
Okay. Just kind of typing out what we've been saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like, okay.
Well, this one is gritty, but it certainly seems viable.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely a departure from the stuff that we usually do, because most of the things that we do are like require a lot of observation, but it's interactive.
Right.
Whereas this is
is more cerebral thinking.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
planning out your actions well in advance if you get the opportunity to do something, right?
Yep. It's
Very,
much more tactical.
story driven as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of importance on the narrative.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. Kind of like how this is shaping up.
It definitely feels like a game that would be naturally well dispositioned for multiple playthroughs, so you could have different characters that like the entire way that they interact with you changes depending on choices you make early
Mhm.
on, or what
Yeah.
your alliance
Ooh.
is, or that kind of thing. Like,
You could totally have the stretch goal of this be like additional campaigns can be, added to the game by
Right.
whomever,
Additional factions enter into this whole big old mess of
Right,
things.
right.
or
and-
just an entirely different story. Like, here's a framework, and then the engine kind of works on top of the
right.
framework.
Yeah.
yeah. You
Like-
could have incredibly difficult outcomes that are like achievements or something as well, or like prevent the world war altogether. And it's like you have to have like 60 different exactly perfect decisions that
talk
you make.
everybody down.
Right.
Yep, that definitely sounds like a VN to me.
Yeah. Well.
Gosh, how did I get this secret ending? Oh,
Every combination ever of the various dialogue trees. But
Right,
guess
yeah.
what? Tain't no saves. You ain't going back.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay.
And you have to
Mhm.
notice that one like little thing in the corner of the room in that one scene, and if you miss it, just
You have to be looking that way in VR to be able to see
Right.
it, so you get the QTE to pick up the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snatch the key off the desk, but you can't do it if you don't see it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What if you drop it? Oh no.
Oops. It's gone forever. Slip the strychnine in that person's coffee, and
Mhm. Who's this, Russia?
hey, it's noir, Cold Warish
Oh, yeah,
political
yeah,
intrigue.
it's-
So
I get you.
okay, so audio style here seems pretty, not necessarily minimalistic, but various audio stabs and stuff to get you to pay attention to certain things.
So the challenging thing with it being VR, right, is like you're going to have lots of character models because the entire game is based around interacting with NPCs.
Right.
Do you have, voice acting and animated mouth movements, or do you go the dialogue box option? I feel like the style of the game would lend itself better to like written
Yeah.
text blobs that pop up in front of the person as they speak kind of thing.
I
but-
think so, and probably not full voice acting, more like the
Right.
dialogue intonation type
right,
things,
right,
and
yeah.
maybe a little positional audio in there too. Like you can
Yeah, for
hear
sure.
like the very basic end of a conversation, but you gotta kind of go,
Yeah,
just
right,
to
right,
listen to
right,
it a little
yeah.
bit better,
Yeah,
right?
spatial audio would definitely be a factor. You could have
Little exclamation words that happen as a new dialogue box
Right.
appears.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen.
No.
You could definitely use that for environment as well, as far as like
Yeah.
having a small background noises that are normal, and then occasionally having things that like tip you off to something you might want to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Act as a red herring to distract you from something you should be paying attention to.
Right. Oh, what was that? Oh crap! I missed whatever they said. Now
Yeah,
that I was
right.
trying to listen on to. Right.
Whoop.
You could even do that as like a, these two people are having a conversation, but if you interrupt it, it will cause things to happen differently. So like, you
Right. Yeah.
intentionally knock a stack of papers off a desk in front of them, and oops, I'm so clumsy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Eliza slipped and fell. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Totally haven't been rewatching a little bit of Sonic for Hire. Anyway,
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much everything now fleshed out except for a title. Go figure.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I have to think of something that's representative of the collective idea.
Right. Political intrigue, noir.
World War. War VR.
multi-agency World War VR. Temptation.
Kind of feels like a pulp spy novel title would be appropriate, you
Yeah.
know?
We
Yeah.
leaned really heavily into the spy aspect of it, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Trying to remember a word. It's kind of like pretense of war, but it's something else. I don't know.
Hmm.
Riffing on tension, things being unsure, trust,
Or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
allegiances, or the lack thereof.
I feel like there's an idea just sort of out there, but I can't seize on it.
Sturm und Drang. Drang, sorry.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Storm and stress.
Shit. This is one of the more difficult ones we've had to come up with,
Yeah,
isn't
I feel like the title would be like
it?
based in part on some of the details of like the narrative or the story, like
Yeah.
what country is it set in, or like what specifically are the allegiances or factions trying to accomplish, or that sort of thing. But
Well, to avoid a bunch of further dead air, then we can leave this one untitled.
Well, I started
come back
considering
to
some
it.
stuff.
Yeah, well,
Like
what do you got?
the thick tension before some great thing happens. And by great I mean just large event.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't want to say fog, because that's not really representative of it. It's just the unknown hanging in the balance,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of feeling. Like, if we can capture that somehow, I think that would be pretty great.
yeah, that's fair.
Denouement of war. I don't know. No, that's the falling action, right?
I don't remember.
It's the rising action. Is it just called rising action?
Yeah,
I think it might be.
rising action.
You mean we can't call it the apex?
Yeah, the denouement is the falling action, the final act.
Gotcha. Okay. French.
Damn.
Gosh, I had something kind of that was viable.
That doesn't work.
You could make some kind of play on like web or network of interactions or allegiances, like some kind of
hanging in the balance.
idea along those lines.
Well, the absence of something better.
This is probably going to be one of those where we're all going to have real great ideas in about 3 days.
Yeah. Or as soon as we sign off for tonight, we'll be like,
3 hours.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm willing to make the executive decision and say untitled for now, and then we'll fill it in later.
We'll come back to it.
We will. Maybe next show we'll be like, hey, remember that title we couldn't figure out? Here's what we got.
Or maybe if we figure something else out beforehand, head over to twitter.com/0hour PRTCTNS.
Stupid character limits.
Predictions.
Give us a follow and you can maybe read something that we come up with. God, I have this this feeling that I just can't properly convey in 2 to 3 words.
Right. Yeah.
It's just this like anxious tension before it breaks and not being sure
That's definitely
of your role in things.
Yeah, that's definitely like the right concept to
Yeah.
pursue.
Ah,
It's just like,
I
how
had
do you-
something that was
Like
pretty okay, and it's just not there.
the swell of whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh well. Well, you have a
We'll
concept
get
at the
to it
very
eventually.
least, so there's that.
There's
Yep.
probably a word for that in some language or another.
There's a German word for it for
Right.
sure.
One word to combine all of these thoughts.
Yeah.
It might be 58 characters long.
I mean,
but-
yeah, sure. But all right, okay. Well, we'll wrap it there. So we have got our political intrigue, multiple agency, war noir visual novel VR thing.
Mhm.
Working title that we'll need to come back to next time with a proper title, I'm sure. But that will wrap it up for insert credits round 97 here. Anything else we need to impart to the world at large before we sign off and go get food? Because I'm hungry.
Yeah, no. A little spoiler though. If all goes to plan, the next round 98 will also be in person. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how that shakes out since we are still a month out from it. But yeah, so
And
far
we're-
so good.
We're still going to be living in Illinois.
Unfortunate, but
Well,
That was the
hopefully
breaks.
they'll be back on 10-hour shifts instead of 12s by that point. So
Gross.
we will see.
Or maybe even 8s. Gasp.
oh wow,
Don't count on it.
wild.
Anyway.
Well, thank you all for joining us for insert credits round 97 here. I'm Mr. Bond.
And I'm Tormod.
And I'm Vlad. Thanks for having me.
We'll leave you with our typical closing track, a remix from Mario Kart Wii entitled Wind in Your Hair by Overclock University. Good night, everybody.
Ciao.